Yo, my Tesla robot here. About time. Only took 3 months. What the hell? What? This ain't no Tesla. Ain't he smoking? Bruh. Let me see what these shipping papers say. Must enroll into ECPI. What the hell? See, that's what I get from trying to order from China before them tariffs kick in. Look, I don't know what you're used to, but you're gonna have to get a job or go to school. Preferably both. Put the cigarette out. You know how to drive?
Don't let tobacco control you.
Welcome back. Tonight we got cornfield, crop circles, pasty tattoos, and other creepy videos from all around the world. So kick back, grab your snacks, and let's go.
They have created an entirely new state of matter. Yeah, you heard that right. It's not a solid, liquid, or gas. It's a phase of matter that only exists at the quantum level, called a topological state. So, what the hell is a tech company doing making scientific breakthroughs? One very important reason: quantum computing. Because yes, while we're all currently talking about AI, there's another less spoken about pursuit that would drastically change the world as we know it. And after Microsoft's quantum chip breakthrough, which I'll get into, it now seems more possible than ever. Let me explain. Remember that scene from Endgame when Tony Stark asked Jarvis to run a bunch of different simulations to see if his models would work for time travel? Well, essentially, that's the capability of quantum computers. Currently, if scientists wanted to create, let's say, like a new material that self-heals, so that buildings would just fix themselves, or clothes would stitch themselves back together if torn, well, they would have to trial and error their way through the discoveries. They'd mix a bunch of chemicals, test their properties, and hope to find something useful. But this can take years. However, kind of like how Jarvis did with time travel, quantum computers could step in and simulate a bunch of different materials at the atomic level with extreme accuracy, predicting their properties before they even exist.
If everything goes smoothly, I'm going to watch a car fly over another car.
You can actually use it today, and you can cut your commute at least in half, if not more.
Jim Duchovny says his company Aleph Aeronautics was able to create something we've been dreaming about since the Jetsons. And while not quite ready for the road, Duchovny says the flying car is about to take off. NBC News was given exclusive access to see their concept model with our own eyes. Sure enough, we watched it soar through the air over another car and land. But for all the magic of this moment, we were heavily restricted, forced to shoot at least half a football field away, and we never actually saw the driver entering or exiting the vehicle.
We still have some IP, intellectual property, which we're trying to protect.
But practicality might be where the rubber meets the sky.
It's going to be slow, incremental approach, which is good for legal integration, which is good for consumer integration.
But he says, as demand grows, regulations will catch up with the tech.
Slow and incremental sounds like the next version is just going to be a slow flying Prius.
Faces pass and I'm homebound. And I need you.
Here are some facts you probably didn't know. A licking machine is what made the discovery that it took 364 licks to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop. No smoking signs on airplanes only became mandatory after a fire on a flight from Brazil to Paris caused the deaths of everyone on board except one person due to smoke inhalation. Bob Ross's hair was naturally straight, but he got a perm to save money on haircuts while he was touring the United States penniless in his mobile home. He actually hated his curly hair, but he kept it because it became iconic. The British scientist who helped develop the breathalyzer was caught drunk driving. Children of South Naknek, Alaska are flown daily to attend school, riding the United States' only flying school bus. 85% of the world's canned pumpkin is processed in one plant in Morton, Illinois, aka the pumpkin capital of the world. Japan has one vending machine for every 30 people.
These are the most disturbing things found in new houses. Part 1. Up first, this couple bought a new house when they suddenly discovered a secret hidden room underneath the staircase. This is absolutely disturbing, and I wonder what the previous owner did in this room. Next up, this man just bought a new house when he realized the past owner left their mirror. He then decided to take it off and discovered something truly disturbing behind it. The previous owner had a camera hidden behind it. I wonder if he was spying on people in his house when he lived there, or if he wants to spy on the new people who moved in. Either way, it's very disturbing. Finally, this man's friend bought a new house when he suddenly moved the carpet and found the exact spot where the previous owner died. This is very creepy, especially because that's a body stain.
So this library has been discovered in Tibet, and it was sealed up. And it has 10,000 books or ancient texts. 84,000 books telling 10,000 years of human history, supposedly. Now, only a little bit has actually been translated. I think it was like 5%. But this is insane. It was sealed in like side a wall. Can you imagine opening up a wall and just seeing all these books and text? I don't know what language it's written in. I think it's like this was built, they determined in like, what, 1073. And it was sealed in a 60-meter long, 10-meter high wall in Tibet containing 84,000 secret books telling 10,000 years of human history, and only 5% has been translated. What? What do we not know? In 10,000 years, I mean, what do you think's in these texts?
Now, as we all know, you can't just be reading ancient Sumerian text like that all willy-nilly and expect nothing to happen. Ain't no telling what kind of creatures may emerge from the darkness.
Archaeologists have just discovered the first pharaoh's tomb in more than 100 years. Thutmose II is the last undiscovered king of Egypt's 18th dynasty. And now that they've astonishingly found his tomb, it's become the most significant archaeological discovery since 1922, which is when they found Tutankhamun's tomb. And although Thutmose's mummy was missing, they discovered artifacts with inscriptions of his name, and it also appears the tomb to be flooded. So now they believe that more of its contents, and his mummy of course, were moved to a new undiscovered crypt nearby. The director of the excavation said the possible existence of a second and most likely intact tomb of Thutmose II is now an astonishing possibility.
The 3 fastest animals in the world. Only 0.1% can name them all, can you? Number 3, the cheetah. Now this cat is the real deal when it comes to speed. It has this amazing ability to accelerate super fast, allowing it to reach these crazy speeds almost instantly. Just picture this. It can run as fast as 62 miles per hour or 100 kilometers per hour, making it one of the fastest animals on land. Now imagine, you're running as fast as a car on a highway. Number 2. Next up, we've got the black marlin. This fish is known for its crazy speed underwater. It can reach up to about 80.78 miles per hour or 130 kilometers per hour. It's pretty much like an underwater missile. But before we move on to the top spot, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and favorite this video. Number 1. And now, in the top spot, we have the peregrine falcon. This bird's got razor-sharp wings and a hunting method that will literally take your breath away. It can hit speeds over 198.84 miles per hour or 320 kilometers per hour when it's diving down to catch its prey. It's the fastest predator in the animal kingdom, the king of the skies. It's as if Superman himself turned into a bird. Now imagine, you're moving as fast as these creatures, sprinting at a pace that makes your head spin, or swimming through the ocean's depths with the grace of a ballet dancer. What would you do with speed like that? Let me know in the comments.
Escucha, hágale suavecito. Espere. Hágale.
So someone commented in one of my videos, like the bronzer highlighter I use, and I use the Milani 05 Soleil. So I tried it on, and no.
Spirit Halloween makes so much money in 1 week, they can afford to keep all the lights and monsters running after closing. But apparently I'm in the wrong business.
Way. And no, this one's not about Travis. St. James Davis was a former NASCAR driver that adopted and raised a pet chimpanzee named Mo. This ain't going the way you think it is. For almost 30 years, Davis and his wife raised Mo like he was their son, and Mo was even the best man at their wedding. Except there was an incident where Mo bit an officer hard enough for her to need stitches, and the two were forced to give up Mo to an animal sanctuary an hour away. But Mo was basically their son, and the two would often make the drive to go see him. And on Mo's 39th birthday, the two showed up with a cake, which they fed him through a fence, and Mo seemed like he was genuinely having a good time. You know who wasn't? The two male chimps that were watching them. So here's the thing about chimps. In the hierarchy, lower-ranking males have to surrender food to higher ranks. It's the rule. It's why people in South Africa have a baboon problem, since constantly being fed by people has made them see all humans as low ranks. Also, chimpanzees are capable of feeling every human emotion. That includes jealousy, greed, and straight-up malice. So while these two chimps were watching this party happen without them, that was the worst possible time for them to realize their cages were unlocked. The two males charged, and one of them bit Davis's wife's thumb clean off. To protect his wife, 6'2" former running back Davis put himself between his wife and the two raging chimps. What happened next was one of the most brutal animal maulings I've ever read about. In 7 grisly minutes, St. James lost an eye, lost all of his fingers, parts of his face, parts of his foot, and even his... Yet children were no longer an option after that day. Davis was rushed to an emergency room, but the first two places actually turned them away since Davis looked like he was a lost cause. One person even said they were better off just taking him to the coroner's office. Eventually, he was led into a trauma center where he underwent multiple surgeries and even spent months in a medically induced coma. He survived with his wife by his side, but his life changed the moment those two chimps got out. As for Mo, a little while after watching his father get horrifically maimed in front of him, he eventually escaped the sanctuary and was never found again. All of this because of a birthday cake. Moral of the video, no story that starts with pet chimp has a good ending. Ever.
That ended up being real, part 10.
Nightwalker. It is a bizarre, otherworldly creature captured by security footage in Fresno, California in the late 2000s. A homeowner noticed strange leg-like creatures appearing in his yard, moving in a smooth, almost gliding motion. When he checked his security footage, he was shocked to see what looked like a pair of long, thin legs with a small head gliding across his yard without any torso or arms. The creatures, now known as Nightwalkers, quickly became an internet sensation, with many questioning whether they were aliens, ghosts, or something entirely unexplained. The video shows these strange, almost puppet-like figures moving in a way that appears unnatural, as if they're floating just above ground. A similar video surfaced a few years later in a national park showing nearly identical creatures moving through a wooded area. To this day, no one has been able to explain exactly what the Fresno Nightwalkers are, and the footage remains one of the most mysterious pieces of evidence in history. If you have the guts, follow for the next urban legend.
So from what I understand about the universe, every creature in it has its purpose, even walking snot rags.
On the first day of Burning Man, and for those of you who don't know, this is a week-long fest place in the desert of Black Rock City, Nevada. It gets the name from the ritualistic burning they do of a massive effigy called the Man. This takes place on Saturday night, and the next day they burn a massive temple. This festival is something like you've never seen before. It's a week long, but you have to bring everything you need in order to survive, because the only thing that they sell there is ice. They don't sell food, nothing. It's very important that you make friends with people, you trade, you barter, and you gift each other things. When it comes to the festival itself, there's a lot of artwork, sculptures, a lot of shows. I don't think there's any set headliners, but from what I'm seeing, Diplo is playing there, but just very interesting.
Men started to record after screams coming from outside his apartment. This has happened before, and he had reported to the security, but he told him that apartment has been vacant for months. The security told him that a man unalived his family and himself in that exact apartment.
please stop making really big, scary things and putting them in water like this. This is part 77 of some of the worst mechanophobia things I've ever seen. Now, we've already talked about the German version of this statue, but this one is actually in Alabama, and I hate it. It is absolutely massive. Of course it is. Why wouldn't they be? And she is chilling in water. It is just the head and the knees. You can get on your boat and go and visit her. And could you imagine falling in with this? No. Of course, she is absolutely massive. Check her out compared to these humans. This is her being transported. Can you imagine driving next to this? I wouldn't even be able to drive next to this, much less see it in the freaking water. This is her when she was being sculpted. God, just to think about something that absolutely massive just chilling in water. Why do people do that? Legitimately, why the frick do they do this? She was actually damaged during a Hurricane Sally, a long ass time ago. But she got a makeover, so she's rocking red hair and some really pretty lipstick. Still hate her though. But yeah, would you go check out this roadside attraction? I'll pass.
Now I know the good Lord is up there shaking his head at the trees being wasted to make this. But don't get it twisted. Just because it's weird don't mean somebody out there won't ask for a hand in marriage.
Hello, how are you? I am under the water. Please help me.
LeBron James officially becomes the first player with a Barbie doll made in his likeness. The four-time NBA champion has grown men all around the country lining up to obtain the doll, with some even ripping them out of the arms of children. Reports state that the next generation of the Barbie doll will contain the same AI as Tesla Optimus.
Oh, you are so adorable. Now, take all of your clothes off.
At Oliver's Castle, one of the most often debated observations was made early one morning in 1996. A young man spending the night here with his video camera was in the early dawn suddenly aware of something strange unfolding down in the field.
Here I'm standing at Oliver's Castle at precisely the same spot as John Whaley was standing in August 1996, when he supposedly, for the first time in history, managed to film the creation of a crop circle.
That the crop circle was not here the previous day but had appeared the following morning was a fact. That John Whaley was here at dawn could be confirmed by a military patrol jogging by at that time. John returned to the local pub later that same day and played this remarkable footage from his camera. Even so, many believe that he had managed to manipulate the film with computer animation during this short time span, something that computer animation experts doubt. To overlay a perfect animation over a handheld, unstable film would need several days of computer work using the equipment of that time. Today, the film is still a great mystery. Although confessions now have been made by people claiming to be responsible for it as a hoax, others believe the hoax theory is to be organized debunking, due to the fact that this remarkable footage would have dangerous effect on the public if declared real.
Yo, what's up? Here's some scary facts about our world that you probably didn't want to know, part 11. Every time you blink, another person in the world dies. And there's actually a website that shows you how many people die in a minute or in a day, how many babies are born, etc., etc. Yeah, it's pretty creepy. For the longest time, toddlers' adult teeth are actually located under their eyes. Imagine they broke through the skin, they would look like some kind of freakish baby zombie monster or something. Dogs can actually smell and map out diseases. Now, we already know how strong a sense of smell is in a dog, and if you were placed in a line and you were the one infected, there's a very high chance that the dog would come sniffing at you. And if your dog's already doing that, then you might want to call the doc. There's actually a place in Antarctica called Blood Falls where it looks as if blood is flowing or spewing out of the side of an iceberg. Kind of looks like a crime scene to me, but we won't tell anybody. And lastly, there was once a woman who was blinded by a bad accident, and she developed multiple personalities, some in which could actually see. You heard me say she was blind, right?
Well, sir, you are certainly terrible at purse snatching. You may want to enroll in the ACPI and switch career paths.
I'll give you however much you want. Whoa. You think I want money? You think that's what this is about? A big angry black man comes walking in waving a gun. and you assume he's robbing the place? I ain't looking for no goddamn handout. I'm looking for my job, bitch.
Some of the scariest things that have happened on live TV. On August 19th, 1987, American writer David Horowitz was invited to KNBC to do a segment. While he was being introduced, a man named Gary Stulman appeared on set and pointed a gun at David's back. He was let into the studio after falsely stating that he was a guest of one of the hosts. He demanded that David read a statement that Gary had written, claiming that his dad was a CIA clone.
When I began receiving disturbing calls from my parents, which led me to believe that something terrible was going on.
After the statement was fully read, Gary put the weapon down on the table and was apprehended. It was later found out that the weapon Gary used was an unloaded BB gun, and he stated he never intended to hurt anyone.
Are the only person alive on Earth right now. It's called the egg theory, and what I'm about to tell you will blow your mind. So the theory goes that you are actually the only person alive right now. The only consciousness that actually exists. Everyone else is just a figment of your imagination. Your family, friends, strangers you meet on the street, all because your mind doesn't want to feel alone. But this is the scary part about this theory. Since you are the only true consciousness, you'll live every possible life there is and ever will be. So you'll be reincarnated and reborn billions and billions of times until you lived every single individual's life. And then you'll be able to hatch this egg and become a god. That's the theory. You see, the theory goes that the entire universe was created as an egg for the main character, which is you. And once you have lived every human life ever, you will be born as a god. The reason God created the universe was for the main character to understand this point. Every time you victimize someone, you are victimizing yourself. So be kind to people and you're being kind to yourself. And no lie, it sounds horrible, but you wouldn't know if you lived billions of lives already. You probably already lived over 1 billion and you just don't remember it. You probably lived your mom's life, your cousin, the stranger across the street, the blind man you walked past sitting on a bench today. So in actuality, you're me and I'm you. You're the person in the hospital right now with an unknown disease, or the lady at the store right now buying apples. So every single person you know and ever will know was you.
Most people assume that the different colored olives they find at their local delicatessen represent different varieties. However, the primary difference between green and purple olives is simply the point at which they are harvested. Green olives are picked before they are ripe, while purple olives are allowed to ripen on the tree. Raw olives are naturally very bitter and must be soaked in a solution containing lye and then fermented in brine for 6 to 12 months before becoming palatable. The longer olives are fermented, the less bitter and the more flavorful they become. Canned olives are sort of like maraschino cherries. Most are artificially colored, unholy aberrations of nature. The average lifespan of an olive tree is between 300 and 600 years, though many live well into their thousands. The oldest olive tree in the world is on the island of Crete. It is purported to be approximately 4,000 years old and is still producing fruit. A single olive tree can produce up to 20 gallons of olive oil per year. Stay curious, my friends.
Well, I was 8 years old when I found out horse sweat looks like that. I guess being a heat has multiple meanings.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when you sewed me up, you put some of the stuffing in the wrong places, so I'm a little...
Oh, Lord have mercy. They drained me.
No wonder people think Justin Bieber looks unwell. In his birthday video, he looked shockingly thin. Even under a blanket, you could see his collarbones. He's almost unrecognizable now. And behind this transformation are 3 heartbreaking truths. First, his battle with chronic illness. Bieber has openly admitted to HAIH, having Lyme disease, and mononucleosis, both of which can cause chronic fatigue, weight loss, and skin issues. While he hasn't mentioned a relapse recently, long-term treatment could still be affecting his metabolism. Second, extreme workload and parenting stress. In 2025, he was seen pulling all-nighters in the studio, working on his new album. His manager even admitted he's struggling to balance work and fatherhood. On top of that, his son, Little Star, wakes up frequently at night, leaving Bieber in a constant state of sleep deprivation. Plastic surgeons speculate that his exhausted look is directly tied to chronic fatigue from parenting. Third, mental health struggles. Bieber has spoken openly about his anxiety and depression. In 2025, he was seen looking, visibly anxious in public, matching his past comments about social anxiety. Experts say the stress of fatherhood, marriage rumors, and even former collaborators getting arrested could be taking a serious toll on his mental well-being. What do you think is happening with Bieber?
I do this right now.
What is that? That is a weird shadow.
Object hits moon. Object hits moon. Object hits moon.
Yo, you okay, man? Yo. Fuck. Look at that go, man.
Ah, shit. My shoe.
What the fuck is it? Ah, fuck. Shit, man. Why is there a hole on the ground?
Looking purr. Now tell me your ass didn't just sit there thinking there was a whole human body on that damn barbecue pit. Don't lie. I know you did. Cause I did. I was like, what the fuck is a whole body on there? Then I seen a little tail and I was like, oh, okay.
Well, you better use Google MapQuest or MySpace, because I ain't opening that door.
Told you my appointment was at 10, so I wanted to get there by 8.
And all we just got for the they see us.
Alright, that's it for Creepy TikToks that had the internet on edge. If you're about to fall out your seat like me, go ahead and hit that like button if you liked it. Comment on your favorite clips and join the Space Crew, because we rocking.